Now, if it was a person, that you found out that this person say was telling a lie or always telling a story about being late or whatever, and gotten off many times for that, then, then you would have some suspicion about him or her doing what they said or what happened. And then that's where you want to discuss with them. Discussion say, well, according to the store policy, we're going to give you a point, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you got a good employee and this happens to it, and this guy that got, held to him on gunpoint, he was a good employee, but they still went through with it because, they just dickheads.
No, that just blows my mind that they would do that to somebody that literally just would, almost lost their life. They're still like, hey,
Yeah.
we gotta still hold up policy, and that's crazy.
You have a Don over in the corner. Well, we have still a policy saying that if you're late, if you call out, and something like, they gotta give this person a point.
Like,
Hey,
ridiculous, man. Fucking ridiculous. It's understandable to an extent, but it's like when is it gonna be to the point where some of those people in those positions are going to get real and like not just try to follow, to the script or the book so much, like, hey, well, technically, this is what we should do. It's like, yeah, but you also have some understanding that that person's life was in jeopardy. So how the hell did you actually expect them to follow through with what you wanted them to do? Like, that's out the window when something like that happens. But you still want to follow through.
Put yourself in that person's place. What if it happened to you? What if you got into a car accident? Your manager or supervisor got in a car accident. What you supposed to do? What you gonna do? You gonna call out? Are you gonna?
Yeah, you really expect somebody's gonna want to feel like coming in after going through something that that's traumatic type shit, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
They be on some shit like, hey, I don't care if Hulk came by and he punched you in the stomach and you're only just an arm, you only got arms and a head. We still need you to hobble over and get this job done. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't even got legs or a torso. What do you mean?
I'm quite sure, the people that work in that position with the person that was given the point, if they knew the guy they knew the guy was in an accident, they would say, well, we'll step up and we'll step up with him, step up in his place and help him out,
But then they want to act all boo-hoo and wham when they're like, oh man, now we got to do more work because we're down.
Right.
Staffing.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, now you want to give a shit, huh?
And not only that, you got to try to hire somebody, and they got to come up to speed to this person that you literally got rid of to do the same work to this guy that it don't make sense,
Yeah, act like you have some damn better common sense and better judgment,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly, it don't make sense,
But
I'm not saying that deny the organization policy all the time, but there's certain instances where you gotta have some thought about what you're doing. What's the consequences of me us giving this guy a point? Is he gonna accept it, or he gonna walk out of there? And this guy walked out of there, right?
Yeah, I think he did the right thing though. If that's what it's got to. If you're gonna do that, then you're kind of asking for somebody to be like, you know what, fine then.
Yeah, that shows how much you care about me. You saying screw me, well screw you.
Yeah, then you want to double back and be like, whoa, actually, we'll get rid of it, please.
Yeah, I don't want to backpedal. Don't backpedal with me. Don't play them games. Gameless. Don't play them games. Don't backpedal with me.
Yeah, man. Like, you don't know how bad I had the lottery ticket for that Powerball, for that billion. Boy, I spent almost $30-$40